Well, Dr. Fox back here with you with your weekend update. Once again, we got some big thank yous going out. We've got some updates in WoW Classic, at least for our guild anyway. Some big nerfs happening with things over on PTR slash Andor Beta. So we'll get into all that. We got some DC fandom happening this weekend. All kinds of stuff. Let's jump right into this, shan't we? Dr. Fox back here with you with the weekend update. Hope you all are trying to stay cool. Thank goodness we got through that big hump there of uh, humidity. Was rough for many of us up here, at least in the eastern side of the United States. Whew, my goodness. Hope you're holding up. Feel free to share how you're holding up okay and trying to get through things. Don't be afraid to share that as well. First off, I want to start this off with a huge, big thank you to not only a special person, and due to I'm going to keep them private for their own privacy needs and whatnot, but unless they tell me otherwise. But first off, I've met this great guild that I've been part of. I'm still in charge of my guild, but it's nice that they've integrated that you can join more than one. So I've joined a couple. And this one has really been helping me. I want to thank them so much for helping me get a trinket and then one other piece. I'm still trying to get a couple more pieces through the Nyalotha Heroic. Has still been a bit of a struggle. But then a special thank you came from one of the special guildies last night. And holy moly, they popped me right through one of the horrific visions. I had tons of vessels. I've been helping some of my guildies get a couple of their horrific vision points up. And wow, we flew into the really dangerous area. That's what I'm going to call it. And we were able to, usually we only pull about one page a run, and it's a bit struggling. And wow, the way they pulled that last night, that was unbelievable. So a big thank you, not only to the guild for helping me run through Nyalotha. We're still got to defeat N'Zoth on Heroic, though. They've done it many times, but I don't know whether I'm just missing out on those opportunities with them. But I come in every couple of... they have a couple of guild nights that they run, and I try to get involved in those couple of nights, but we seem to be on other characters, and the N'Zoth one keeps sort of eluding me because I'm trying to get that horrible Void Wing quest that drops with Nyalotha before it either gets nerfs way down to really hard to get, or it's going to completely go away at this point, like it tends to do in some of the other expansions as well. So over in WoW Classic, our original guild anyway, I'm excited. We finally moved down to Tanaris, but we got to do a little more tweaking. But it's nice in WoW Classic to finally be down in Tanaris. I already have my level 60 rogue max. We were helping out a lot this past week with my brother and a couple other guildies, working through some of that as well. We've had something now to shift gears into WoW Retail. We've had some big nerfs happening with the Mythic Plus gear and the new season, and part of those pieces from the beta and the PTR as well. I'm going to kind of leave it just vague at that. There's a lot of different changes that are going on. We've got new ray tracing with shadows that's also taking effect in the beta and PTR. Just be sure to upgrade your graphics card and your Windows feature updates as well, in case it's causing you some struggles to get it activated. But again, it all depends on it. You really need a high-end graphics card and a high-end processor to be able to handle a lot of that as well. So just a heads up on that if you're trying to look at that. But it looks pretty beautiful. You can see like darkened shadows up close, and if it's further away, they're lightened shadows. It's some beautiful, gorgeous. As always, I'll put the links of some of the other great streamers out there that have really gone into depth on some of these topics. We're more of a bullet point weekend update just to fill in that small gap for you until the other content creators come back and get their next info coming along. So as you know, we try to help out class changes, and there's been some balances. We have some outside of WoW. We've got DC fandom that's happening over this weekend. If of course, it's supposed to be over by today. If you're seeing this on the Sunday of release, if you see it later in the week, then I'm so sorry. Sorry you missed out on it. It was sort of a weekend thing, or about like well, technically one day, but it was like late afternoon yesterday, even though technically it's supposed to start at 1, and clearly there was a lot of website issues and, oh, geez. Anyway, now they're showing some encore stuff over the next few hours, and because I want to thank Adam Crocker, one of my other fellow, one of my all time. It's like a brother. We've known each other since first grade. Anyway, he's been streaming a lot of good Batman. He's been doing a lot of Batman streams lately, so I think that was a nice tie-in with the DC fandom. So a quick shout out to you, Adam. So for that as well. So keep up the good work over there. You're doing some good stuff. We've had a huge level 50 to 60 experience nerf as well, for going when you get into through Shadowlands as well. We're gonna have to see how that plays out. There's a lot of controversy going back and forth about that right now as well, and we've had some update newcomer mentor requirements. Looks like you only got to have 2 of the other pieces. You got to do like 3,000 quests. And then you got to do one other piece that I should have had all my notes in front of me. I could have gone over it. But there's like 4 or 5 other options, but you're only going to have 2 of those last 2. The first 2 you've got to have. Or you can have like 3 characters that have been maxed at max level. There's some other variations there. There's some things of Nyalotha. I guess you don't have to, it doesn't have to be any specific. I suppose you could do the LFR one. To get that requirement, but you could do like the horrific vision. Some of those things don't take a ton of skill to try to complete. The tweaks should be, I don't know. It's also another controversial thing as well. And then I think we'll segue right into our calendar this week as well. So we've got the World Quest bonus event that's starting on Tuesday. Arena Skirmish bonus event, that's going to be ending this Tuesday. PvP Brawl Deep 6 is going to be ending for those of you PvP brawlers out there as well. We're going to see that as we approach the tail end of our August before we jump into some other little micro holiday next week and some other and our weekly Tuesday as well. So I really hope that you held in there and you're holding up okay. And remember to take 2 moments to sit back, relax, think about, contemplate a few things. Call me in the morning, and then once again, we will see you later.